Every view of Grand Canyon is impressive, and the views change based on the time of day, the season, and even your mood. But some views are better than others. Here are my top 3 viewpoints and 3 that did not make the list. First, let's deal with the elephant in the room, Mather Point. Mather is a nice enough viewpoint, but it is the most visited viewpoint in Grand Canyon National Park, and that's the problem. It's designed to accommodate huge numbers of people. Parking is crowded, and you have to walk without a view of the canyon for 15 minutes to the viewpoint to then jostle with an excited crowd seeking their best photo of the canyon. Mather Point, the most visited viewpoint in Grand Canyon, is not on my list. Instead, Grandeur Point is the number 3 viewpoint. Grandeur Point is what I call the most efficient point in Grand Canyon. Just 0.2 miles from Yavapai Geology Museum, which is not much to write home about. You get all of these features. If you look to the west, you can see Bright Angel Trail winding down from the rim into the deep canyon. Look out from the point. You can see Plateau Point Trail, which gives you a view of the Colorado River. There's a peekaboo view of the river past Plateau Point. Tonto Trail across. In the area where the sun is shining, you can see a window shining, 2 small buildings. That is the tip-off on South Kaibab Trail, which takes you down to the river and across to Phantom Ranch, which is in that crevasse in the sun across from us. So here we've seen 3 trails: Bright Angel Trail, South Kaibab Trail, North Kaibab Trail, and the North Rim Lodge. It's 4 in the afternoon. We are the only people on this point. If you were at Mather Point, you would have a nice view, a similar view, but it would be crowded with people. Here is the one most efficient viewpoint in the Grand Canyon, and one of my top 3 viewpoints. Don't miss it. Hermit's Rest at the end of the Rim Drive, and the last viewpoint in Grand Canyon is a grand disappointment. It is not on my list. Instead, Pima Point is the number 2 best viewpoint in Grand Canyon. Hermit's Rest is the last stop. It's an okay view, kind of nice with the sunset coming on, but nothing compared to Pima Point, the premier point on the Hermit's Rest route. This building was built in 1914, designed by Mary Jane Coulter, served as a stage stop. People would then take mules down to Hermit's Camp below. So it really wasn't here for the view, but for access to the camp. Pima Point is almost to the end of the Hermit's Rest Drive. Hermit's Rest is nothing to write home about. The real viewpoint is here. You can see a rare thing in the deep canyon, the Colorado River. And when it's quiet, you can hear the river roar. It's getting late in the evening. It's not full sun, but you can still see the full beauty from this spectacular viewpoint in the deep canyon. People tend to gather at the railing here at Pima Point, and the views are beautiful. But if you go a little bit to the west, I think the views are even better. It's worth spending a few minutes walking around. As of late, people have been fairly crazy about sunrise and sunset on the canyon. Getting towards sunset now, it is a pretty sight. But to me, when the canyon is in full sunlight is when it's most beautiful. Pima Point, spectacular, spectacular view of Grand Canyon. One of the best there is. Desert View, one of the most popular viewpoints on South Rim, is not on my list. Instead, Navajo Viewpoint gets an honorable mention, and Lippin Point is the number 1 best view at Grand Canyon South Rim. The #1 best view at Grand Canyon South Rim is Lippin Point. Nearby Desert View Watchtower gets all the visitors, and that's why it's not on my list. Like Mather Point, parking has been reconfigured to accommodate large numbers of visitors, and you have to park at a distance and walk to the point. The tower has been made even more frustrating by a new policy that only 25 people can go up the tower, and you have to get a first-come, first-served free ticket to climb the tower. So you could go all the way and never get to climb the tower. Desert View Watchtower is not on my list. Navajo Point gives you a good view back to Desert Watchtower, the Young Canyon with the river carving, looking forward into the deep canyon. Very nice view. I always called it Lippin Point, but I think it's actually called Lippin, strangely named after the Lippin Apache of Texas. You can see the river coming in the Young Canyon as we came out of Cameron. And if you scan through, you can see into the deep canyon, including, if you had a pair of binoculars, you can see South Kaibab Trail that I plan to hike tomorrow. It's a bit hazy today, but it's still a spectacular view. The deeper you get into the canyon, the less and less you see the Colorado River. So this is special. You see the young canyon, and you see the mature canyon. You see the river that carved it. It's a wonderful place, sunrise, sunset, the colors, the clouds, it's all spectacular. Lippin Point, my favorite view of the Grand Canyon.